Hey, it's Ryan Bean Stump Grinding. I know there's a lot of guys on the Bandit page always wondering, like, SG75, 2900, gas, diesel, what? So I had the opportunity to actually demo a 2900T with the 165 gas motor. It's a 5.7 GM PSI motor. Basically 350 small block. There are some noticeable differences. The 2900 is a lot bigger. I mean, it's height-wise, it's about the same. Length-wise, you can see the difference. The blade, I mean, it's another 3.5 foot longer. Same with the front. I got pretty much flush. The biggest thing that was deceiving to me was it has a smaller wheel on it, so I thought, okay, maybe it's not picking up as high, the head or whatnot. It actually, the head picks up higher for like the guys that don't cut it lower, which I don't. I just grind and go. It actually goes higher by maybe 5-6 inches, not much. As far as the hydraulic unit that's on the side of the head, it is literally the same dimension as the head on here. The only difference is if you're grinding, you do have the metal skirting on either side that sticks out a little further. Not terrible. The main reason why I wanted to demo the 2900, and I'm a die-hard SG75 guy. I love my SG75, but it is a messy son of a bitch. It, you know, you go grind a stump, it could be a 10-inch stump. That is holding everything right there. You back up, you're tracking it all the way across the yard. As far as remote's awesome. Engine, pretty good. Long service intervals, that's the nice thing about the Kohler. Easy. Granted, you can't go to like auto parts store get the oil filter, but you know, it's a $80 filter, but who cares? The book says every 500 hours. I do like every 250, and if you can't afford that, you shouldn't own one. Back to the 2900 though. I don't know. It's a monster. I mean, it blows the 75 out of the water whenever you're grinding. I did a couple maples, 2 pine stumps. I did two 2-foot pine stumps in my yard. Literally 30 to 50 seconds a piece. It was crazy. It does good. The sheet metal, it's not that good. I put the bungee cord on there because literally this panel was falling off. I don't know if it's just because this thing's a demo and, you know, whatever. But, you know, the SG75, it's about the same. I mean, I've had to weld on this cage before just because this stupid little arm down here breaks, but, you know, it is what it is. Back blades. SG75, it's a blade, but it's not that good. It's a nicer blade. It's comparable to the RG80, but it's small. I think they sell a wing kit. I think you have to order it from the factory because it's a totally different blade. It like folds around the front. But regardless, I got CNC plasma cutter. If I end up with this machine or one like it, I'll make some wing extensions. It's not in the world. I'm not crying about that. But back to the main reason, 2900. It's bigger. I want bigger horsepower, quicker, in and out, make more money in a small amount of time. So that's why I'm considering a 2900 gas. You could go buy a short block 5.7 motor from Summit Racing for like literally $3,800. Rotating assembly, everything. So it's like, that's why I'm considering gas. Granted, you could buy a PSI motor, but you can also buy a short block, swap everything out. This whole cage, it's just pretty much like the Bandit. You pull 4 bolts, pull your wiring harness, Bandit, you got to pull the drive shaft and stuff, but the whole motor will lift out. This one, it's just got a big pump on the front. You undo the hoses, undo your wiring. You really don't even have to pull the exhaust in. This whole cage will just lift off, hence the lifting brackets. So it's pretty cut and dry, simple, straightforward machine. Trying to think what else. It is heavy. SG75 will trudge through mud. This, you got to be careful. It's literally 1,000 pounds heavier than the SG75. As far as being clean on the job, this one does not have the fold-out skirts like they come with, or I don't know if they come with it factory or if it's an add-on from the factory. They go right here. They just swing out. It needs that. It does throw it. Luckily for my situation, I'm looking at a 2900 for strictly either big stumps that's going to be messy or lot clears. That's because I get a lot of people that say, oh, SG75s, it's a great machine because you can get into yards. Well, I don't care. If there's a stump big enough that I'm not using an RG80 on to go in and grind a stump, the homeowner, the customer, the contractor, whoever needs to expect it's going to be messy for a little bit, because if you got a stump big enough that you're bringing something like this in, it's going to be messy. You know, I'm not going to take this stump to go do grandma's 1 foot stump in her front yard that looks like a golf course. That's idiotic. And I don't even, to be honest, I don't even take the 75 to do that. The 75, I'm running right now, and it's literally for lot jobs and big stumps. And when you're talking that, bigger horsepower, that's all I want. I am considering maybe the 120 diesel model, but it's a cat. Motor's expensive. It's got DEF on it, so it's a lot of red flags for something that shakes around and gets beat up. So, but it is pretty clean at the stump, short of not having the skirts. If you have the skirts, it's gonna be decent. And that's basically, I was looking at the arm is comparable to the RG80 back there. Depth wise, it does okay on depth. Nothing's gonna really beat the SG75. That's a hard sell going back to something like this, but I've gotten used to the RG80. You got a decent back blade, you can push it. And another thing is, if this thing's going out to do one big stump in someone's yard, granted other people aren't like this, but if this thing's going on a trailer, going somewhere to do a stump in a yard, not a lot job, that mini skid's going to be on the trailer with it. So if it's that much material that needs moved, one, I can use a back blade, or I can use a skid loader. If it's a big stump in a yard, I grind and grow. All my stuff I don't clean up. If I clean up, I refer a guy that has a little tractor and dump trailer. It's not worth my time. I'm not arguing about that either. I strictly have the mini skid to take on jobs, to clean up and make it look good. Because when I say grind and go, my grind and go is I come in, I grind it, I push in a pile, and make it look good. Some guys' grind and goes are literally grind and go, which I understand. You know, I could grind and grow, but I get a lot of compliments on, wow, you cleaned up, you blew everything into a pile, you made it look good. And they could still mow their yard and not be mowing up wood chips. So, but yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. You can see comparison wise, it's a hog. It's a big machine. I am considering possibly buying this one. It is listed on the Stump Grinders Marketplace right now. Jim McLaughlin over at KTS Equipment in Wellington, Ohio has it listed right now. So I'm not biased to buying this one. There are some not really red flags, but I keep my stuff nice. I mean, granted, the 75 is really dirty right now because we've been pounding out some lot jobs lately. But, you know, it's just stuff like SG75 has a newer remote. It's got a nice screen. Paint's not falling off of it. It's clean. This thing, it's not bad. It has sat outside. My stuff sits inside. It comes home. It gets unloaded. It's parked in a shop. It's not the nicest shop, but the sun's not hitting it. Rain's not hitting it. screen, it's faded. When it gets wet, when I picked it up, the buttons didn't work. I literally had to bring it home, park it in the shop, and let it dry out. So, and the biggest downfall with this machine, it's got 600 hours. Bandit's got 570, something like that. So I might be selling that soon. It's got the old remote, and I need to talk to Bandit. I don't know if that remote's still supported or if you have to upgrade. And if anyone knows anything about upgrading remotes, it's never cheap. I mean, it's expensive just to buy a replacement remote to link back to your system. So, but yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm gonna look at possibly listing this Bandit. It's a 2021, early 21. It does not have the 3 settings like the new machine for this sweep. It's got a couple things done to it. I adjusted some of the settings. We can set them back. It's no big deal. The swing speed is infinite. You can go as fast as you want or slow as you want. It's not like the new ones where you got 3 settings and that's it. Another thing that this one has versus the new ones, the travel speed between stump with the wheel on, it hauls ass. Bandit Industries cut that down, and it's slow as hell, and that's a big complaint with guys that know what they're doing. It's a big safety thing that Bandit did, but they cut it down. But this one is probably going to be on the market because I'm going to try to get a 2900 because I do like it, even though there's a couple red flags, but whatever. But 2021 SG75, new river wheel, comes with spare teeth. I'll put a new set of teeth on it. It's got 591 hours now. When I list it, it's probably going to have a little over 600 just because it does get used. Always taken care of, good tracks, never had any issues. A couple of decals peeled off just because Bandit decals suck. But it doesn't have the clutch brake, nothing like that. So always maintained, oil changed at every 250 hours. Book says 500. So I don't know if someone's interested, let me know. But yeah, if any questions about the 2900, hit me up because it's a badass machine. And some guys cry, oh, it's gas, get a diesel. Well, I'm sticking with gas because that's gas. RG80's gas. SG40, ZT1844, whatever you want to call it, it's gas. Little mini skid, it's gas. And most importantly, outside there's a Chevy GMC 5500 right there, flatbed, that's gas. And there's a GMC 3500 and that is gas as well. So I'm looking at bringing in a 500-gallon gas tank, having it at the house, and I never have to go to the gas station other than truck backing in my yard and filling my tank. The only thing that's diesel is my grapple truck, and it's got 2 40-gallon tanks, so I just go to the diesel pump, put them both in, fill it up. So, but yeah, any question about 2900T, hit me up. It's a badass machine. I'm gonna try to buy it. I'll post some videos of it running. My phone kind of crapped out, so I didn't get any good ones, but it's cool. See ya.